Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing the end of the year book tag because, oh my gosh, we're reaching the end of the year. I'm kind of overwhelmed with the amount of books that I gave myself to read and that I kind of have to read. There's like barely enough room to get it all done. I'm freaking out. I also just want to look at my year again. But I am holding off on that, on looking at my entire reading chart thing that I have, because I saved that for the end of the year. I'm not going to do it before. I'm going to do it like December 31st, after I've finished my last book. That is the only time I'm doing it. But I wanted to do something. I found the end of the year book tag, which is a book tag created by Ariel Bissett a couple years ago. Ariel Bissett is one of my favorite booktubers, so I like seeing this tag all the time. Peruse Project, I know, does it every year. There are a couple other booktubers who do it every year. I'm gonna do it now because I like it. So I'm just gonna get into the questions. The first question on here are, have you started any books that you still need to finish by the end of the year? Yes. Oh my gosh. Most of these books that I've started have just been in the past few days with, usually I actually have 3 to 4 books I'm in the middle of. A lot of that has to do with, though, that I listen to an audiobook all the time. I have at least one school book and then one for pleasure book. And then sometimes I actually do a little bit more than that. But I am in the middle of a few books, and basically I got Uncle Tom's Cabin by Harriet Beecher Stowe. I started yesterday, so I haven't been in it that long, just yesterday, but I need to finish it. I want to finish it. Uncle Tom's Cabin has been a book I've wanted to read. Finally got it, finally started it, and I'm so happy. But yeah, and then I've got A History of the Ancient Near East, which is a book I have for school. I'm gonna finish this book for school like December 3rd. I don't know, I'm finishing it sometime in December for school. I have a specific day I'm ending it on. So those are the school books I'm in the middle of. I'm in the middle of What I Lost, also by Alexandra Ballard, which is about a girl with anorexia. I'm pretty sure it's anorexia. It's some sort of eating disorder. I'm in the middle of it. I need to finish it. I really want to. I've been wanting to read a whole bunch of books about mental illness. And I just got a bunch of books about mental illness. Yeah, this kind of just represents all the mental illness books I got that I want to finish, which is a lot. But I'm going to try, and I'm going to succeed, okay? There's no doubt about that. So also, I started the Harry Potter series again for the 3rd time in June, and I need to finish rereading this series. And I still have 3 books. Oh my gosh. These books are huge. But it doesn't matter. First time I read this one, it took me 2 days. So a week for each book. I can do that, I think. I really hope I don't have to stretch it over into the next year. I would rather just finish it. Last book on this list that I started way back in March is Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf. I was really enjoying this book. I just put it down, took a break, and I still have not picked it up, and I want to. But I don't know if I'm gonna finish this. I may not finish it by the end of the year. The next question is, do you have an autumnal book that you plan to carry over into the winter season? I don't know if this is like a book that is, I don't know if I'm even saying the word right, but I don't know if it's talking about an autumnal. That's not right. Whatever. Like a fall themed book and carrying it over into the winter season just because. If it is talking about that, no, I'm not really planning on that. If it's just talking about a book I'm reading in autumn and then I carry it over into the winter, yes. I mean, that will probably happen. Third question is, do you have a sequel that you're waiting for? The answer to that is no. I don't really read books that are just coming out or even series. This year I haven't read that many series. I think I've only reread, I read The Heroes of Olympus. But I haven't really reread any series or read any series at all. And if I did read them, they weren't new series. So I'm not waiting for any sequels. But yeah, so that's my boring answer to that question. Fourth question is there a book that you think could still shock you? I am not really holding out hope. I don't know. That I just haven't. I don't feel like any of these books are really gonna shock me because I already know what they are going into it. The books I have left on my shelf, or not on my shelf, but on my TBR. But if there were any to shock me, I think it would be Definitions of Indefinable Things by Whitney Taylor or Paperweight by Meg Heston. Both of these books I don't have very high expectations for. Just because of the summaries I've heard. They don't sound exactly the kind of thing that I would like. But they could surprise me. I don't know. These two would be the most likely to surprise me out of any of them if any books were to surprise me by the end. Next question is, what are 3 books that you want to try reading by the end of the year? For this, I'm going to do 3 books that are not already on my TBR that I know I will get to. Like, I know I will get to all of these at some point before the year ends. All the books that are left on my TBR. It's just a matter of, will I finish it? I don't know. But, so I'm going to choose 3 that are not on my TBR that, like, if I finish it, I would like to go these 3 next. These are the next 3 that I want to read. And that is The Hunchback of Notre Dame by Victor Hugo. I've been wanting to read this book for 1.5 years now. Because I love the Disney movie, and I know it's not like the Disney movie, but that's why I need to read it, so that I know exactly what's not like the Disney movie. And if I still like the book, and if I still like the Disney movie, I must know this. Why do I not know it yet? Because I have not read it. I read Les Miserables, which is about, let's see, how long is this? Which is about 3 times bigger than this book back in June. And it's by the same author. Why have I not read this book already? I don't know. But I really, really want to read it. And I just keep putting it off. Next book is A Branch of Silver, A Branch of Gold by Anne Elizabeth Stengel. This book is written by my favorite author of all time, and it's the only book I haven't read by her. My favorite series of all time, which she stopped writing, this is kind of another spin-off series to that series. I've had this book on my TBR for 2 years. And I have not read it yet. And I don't know why. I've had this book for 1.5 years. I don't know why I haven't read it yet. The third book that I have on this is All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. I've heard about this book plenty of times, and it's never... When I first heard about it, it was like, oh my gosh, I need to read this now. But since then, it hasn't really been like that. But I found it at the bookstore for really cheap. So I figured, okay, I'll get it. I'll put it on my shelf and I'll get around to it. And then I heard a review about it. I didn't really hear a review about it. It was a vlog of this guy reading this, and he really liked it. So I'm thinking I might pick it up, and I kind of just want to read something like this right now. The 6th question is, do you have any reading goals for the next year? That is yes. This year I read over 100 books. Right now I think I'm at 108. My goal for this year was to get to 100 books. I've never done that, and I never thought it was possible until last year. I figured out how to do it. Like, I don't know how I figured it out. I just started thinking about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, it is possible to get to 100 books in 1 year. Oh, and I can do that. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get to over 100 books this year. Usually I reach just to like 60 or 70 books. The goal for the next year is to read less. I don't regret reading all the books that I did. I really liked pretty much every single one of them. But I don't know. I liked most of the books I read when I read only 60 books a year also. So I don't know. I'm going to keep going for like reading as many books as possible as I can before the end of the year. But after that, I'm going to slow down and I'm going to not read as many books because it's my senior year. So I'm have plans for next year that will kind of really decrease the amount of books I read from now on. But so that's one of the reasons why. Plus, being my last year, I want to spend a whole lot of time with friends and family and doing things. I spent most of my high school career in my bedroom for days on end. And it makes me almost kind of sad. I mean, I'm an introvert and I like spending time on my own. And I don't necessarily like, oh my gosh, I want 10,000 friends. I have 3 really good friends and I'm fine with that. But coming to the end of the year and like thinking back of I'm gonna leave all of these people makes me kind of like, I want to spend more time with the people that I didn't spend as much time with over the rest of my high school. And not necessarily grow really close with them, just to have another relationship. I don't know. My priorities are changing. That's it for all of this. Basically, now I'm going to turn off this camera and I'm going to go start reading as much as possible because I have a lot of books to get to. I have a lot of books to get to in about 45 days. That's not too bad. 14 books in 45 days. That's about 2 to 3 days for one book, which is plenty of time. Yep, okay, I'm going now. Goodbye.